And right after 2020, no one really knew back then that the mainstream media couldn't be trusted and were just flat out reporting lies about everything. Now, we always knew the mainstream media lied for pretty much our entire lives, but people back then were looking for a place to back my mic up a little bit. It's sketchy. Could be because the volume's all the way up. A little bit better. No, here we go. Let's turn this down. That should make it a little bit better. Somewhere to read the news. They couldn't go to the news to get the news and to get ongoing events, so they reached out on different platforms such as Telegram, even Facebook at first, and it ended up being Rumble, BitChute, and the likes. And a lot of truthers gained this very large audience. But what the truthers were doing were not, and I'm not going to name any names, of course, but they were not getting any sort of intel and reporting it to their viewers. They had no actual sources. What they were doing was they were reading various different articles from various different websites that the viewers had no idea the websites existed, because why would they? They don't go out and try to find that stuff. They were used to watching the mainstream media and listening to that narrative. So now what you're seeing is those websites that these quote-unquote truthers got their information from, they're not getting any more intel. It's all very stale. It's all very old. They're repeating a lot of things. And what's rising to the top and what's separating itself a little bit, I sound far away. What the hell's going on? Get to the point. Okay, it was fine. There we go. 5 by 5. You're fine. Sound fine. No. Yes. Yes. No. Echo. Perfect. No. Better. You sound fine. No. Yes. See what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? Because people are saying all these other things. So I don't know if it's good or not. Most people are saying good, so we're going to stick with good. So we're going to go with that. But anyway, so a lot of the truthers that you saw before, who were getting their information off of websites that you just didn't know about, they're no longer getting information because those websites are no longer getting information. And only certain people are. And what I'm going to reveal tonight, I think is going to make a lot of you guys happy, actually. Pretty sure it will. Some of you may not be too happy about it, but I think the majority of you will be. And we're going to get to that kind of towards the end of the show. And right after we drop that intel bomb, we'll hop into a Q&A, take some questions, and we'll go from there. So before we get into that, let's do a round of shout-outs. We haven't done that in a while. Tell me where y'all are from, and we'll shout out your hometown and city. We're going to start on D-Live tonight. Tell me where you're at. And the reason why I did that is because this past weekend, I reached out to my source, and I was starting to get a bunch of different feelings all at once, and most of those feelings were that of frustration and anxiety and anger, so to speak. And I don't get those feelings. I'm a very laid back kind of guy. People try to get me riled up all the time, and it doesn't work. I don't get that way. I'm just not. I don't get mad. I might be a little like vindictive, and I might be a little petty at times, but I don't like. You can't press my nerves. I'm not. So to have those feelings, it was kind of foreign to me. It was kind of different than what I'm used to. And obviously we're in a very different situation right now overall with this whole political environment that we're in and that we've been in for the last almost 2 years now. It's going on, believe it or not. So I did something that was a little out of character, and I reached out to my source, and I usually don't do that. the more communication that we have back and forth is, it could only lead to us getting, I don't know, caught talking to each other, although I don't think that that's possible. I just don't like doing it. If there has to be some sort of communication between they and I, it's usually initiated on their end, and it's usually for good reason. But this past weekend, the 17th kind of came and gone, and I was expecting something to happen on the 17th, something specific to happen on the 17th, and it didn't. Of course, what else is new, right? You're always expecting something to happen, and it doesn't. I'm sure we're all used to that by now, including myself. Before I go any further, I want to remind everybody at this point, and I think it's a good point to remind everybody that as much as you want me to be, I'm not in control. I don't decide when something happens. I don't have that luxury. I don't have that power. I don't have that pull. Maybe I did, a while ago. Maybe if I exercised the right manner, maybe if I exercised in the right manner, I could influence certain things. But in doing that, I feel like I would burn my source and then not be able to get any more intel or any more, I wouldn't be able to report anymore. So as much as you guys want me to be the one who decides that it's go time, I'm not. I have a pretty good view of what's going on, but it's a zoomed out view. Remember that camera example I gave a few lives ago? It's a zoomed out view with no audio, whereas you guys are looking through the same camera, but there's a cap on the lens of the camera. So it's a little different. So with now no one ever said anything to you guys about the 17th. I didn't say anything about the 17th, but I did make some posts about something on Telegram, about something that I anticipated to happen on the 17th. And instead of coming out and saying, hey, the 17th, such and such, I didn't want to do that, but I did allude to what was going to happen on Telegram, and it didn't happen again. So I'm glad I didn't, throw out another date, just to have it, fly by us without any sort of activity. So in the midst of this frustration, I reached out to my source, and it was very, very aggravating, very frustrated message. And I mean, it was a very, very long, detailed message, but to give you the all-encompassing dumbed down version, it was basically, what the hell's going on here? Like, why yet again are we waiting? Why yet again has this not happened? Why yet again are we still what it seems like where we were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago? Does it seem like anything has gotten better? Because if I look around the world right now and I talk to my followers, it doesn't appear that anything's gotten better, and it's only gotten worse. So what's going on was basically my question, but I said it a lot differently, and I threw in some, hey, remember, let's not get into that. But anyway, I only got a one-word answer, which initially really frustrated me and made me even more WTF. And that answer was precision. So that's why I titled tonight's live Precision, because I wanted to remind everybody how important of a move, how detailed and how strategically planned a move has to be in order for the White Hats to proceed with a move. And I want to remind everybody why it's so important and why exact precision is needed to carry out the end phase of this plan and get the White Hats back in control and forever eliminate the Ronald Reagan was attempted. There was an assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan, who we have in place, I should say. The White Hats, when there's an enemy that has taken over, try to do things so precise and with such precision that it doesn't upset the economy, it doesn't upset the potential of a civil war, it doesn't upset the global economic climate, it doesn't invite a potential world war. So I get the answer of precision. I do. That was the only answer that I got. And then over the weekend, after that, in subsequent messages that were sent to me, the means in which I communicate with my source is not a means in which anyone would truly be able to understand in any way. There's technology that exists that most people don't know of that is only available to a very high echelon of military, government officials, and so forth. And I don't have the ability to communicate on that level with absolutely everybody within government, so don't take what I'm saying the wrong way, but I do have that ability to communicate with one individual on that level. And that is the individual that we call my source. So these messages then started coming in, trickling in, over the weekend this was after the precision message was sent to me and after my little tirade that I went through, my little hissy fit, my little tantrum. And the messages that started coming in were, I believe, intended to clarify the precision statement. And a lot of things were starting to make sense afterwards. Now, what I'm going to do right now